What is up, team? Diamond Hands. Derek here. Oh yeah, we got some artists. Did some cool stuff. We're gonna talk about that. Cool logo that was made for me. Pretty sweet stuff. All right. Well, we've pretty much nailed it the last 48 hours on Bitcoin, and once that downtrend was broken, and essentially once the downtrend was broken and started moving higher, you could see there was some short covering. We're going to take a look at that. I'm going to pull back. I'm going to show you what's setting up right now. I'm going to show you that compared to the last move that was made. It really looks identical. And then we're actually going to talk about Ethereum, which I normally don't. Normally just a Bitcoin guy. Feel free to drop a comment, a question, say what's up if you want to. That's totally cool in this environment. So let me tell you let me just show you what I'm looking at right now. So I like to look at the hourly to get a gauge of the next move. Macro, I am diamond handed, meaning we're long Bitcoin. We're going to be long Bitcoin. We're going to be long Bitcoin forever. Until Bitcoin gets to $1 million, I won't even think about it. These Bitcoins are worth at least $1 million. Know that, okay? And so until we get to there's no point in even discussing anything except for buying more. So we're only looking here at the charts to see what's going to happen next because we're all on this roller coaster ride together. All right, so let's take a look. So when we talked about sort of the massive, obvious, really beautiful just setup here that was happening, the reverse head and shoulders. And this is, by the way, the most powerful setup for Bitcoin. Now, I love Bitcoin. I watch Bitcoin move. I feel like I know the way that it breathes. I know what makes it move. And I'm not always right. But remember when we said, hey, remember this guy right here? That was a market order. That came in before the short covering over here. So if we really zoom in on this and try, and we're just guessing now, right? We're just having some fun. If this is a market buy order, and then this is short covering, this means that these guys respect this person, and they saw that. Once they learned who that was, they got out. These are shorts getting out right here, by the way. That was almost an entire short cover rally, if you didn't know. Because once you got above all three moving averages right here and crested off of it, they had to get out. They needed this to break in order to stay in their trade. And when it didn't, they just had to get out of there. And then they waited. They paused right here too. You can see because this was on the Fibonacci. They paused right there. And I'll show you that when we zoom out. I'll show you the big Fibonacci again and why we're kind of stalled where we are right now, but how it could be a really good thing. So we're going to look at that too. So that was the big, the big reverse head and shoulders that we looked at that led us into this to get above the averages. And then now making new highs, now coming back to the averages and settling out for a second. And we're just looking at this as a sideways consolidation for now. This is very, very typical of the next move higher. Why do I think it's happening? Okay, remember the formation I just showed you, reverse head and shoulders. Look at what's sort of transpiring here on the short term. And this is very short term, okay? So this could be, even if this is down here, okay, or somewhere in there, that's still, a really good place for Bitcoin to take off. And if it doesn't, if this does fail for some reason, we've got averages down here, moving averages that are going to help also buoy Bitcoin. But right now is actually where I expect it to turn around. So this is my prediction. I'll just leave this here from when we do the next video. We'll see if I think right there is probably going to be the end of it, or somewhere around there, maybe a little bit lower, maybe right there. Okay, that's my worst case prediction. Right there. I think it's going to turn around right here and move higher and get above this moving average and then go to the next leg. Now, the last thing we talked about was how important 56,000 was. And then once we got above 56,000, bouncing back off of that. How did we come to that? Well, we came to that with the Fibonacci from the all-time high, the most recent all-time high, which is the all-time high, and then taking it down to this cycle swing low here. Look at where that, come on now. And looking at where that put us. Okay, this is what the battle is for right now. This is what's happening right now with Bitcoin. Binance is struggling right now. Okay, struggling team. I'm so sorry. I do not know why this is so laggy. All right, so when we came down here and we went up, remember we saw this guy, this market order, and I said, hey, that could be a good sign, but the bad news is it's right at the continuation retracement Fibonacci, 50% from high to low macro here on the 1 hour. That would usually tend to lead us to believe this is going to go lower, and it did. But that was just a completion of this reverse head and shoulders or to launch us higher from there. And that was the best case scenario, right? I was really hoping that if we hit that, we would come down here and then bounce off that. That would be more bullish. But coming down here and creating that reverse head and shoulders turned out to work out just fine. Now, that said, once we broke through here, remember this is where the shorts were getting out. So they had to get out here. Shorts had to get out right here because we're above all the moving averages. We bounce off the moving average, so they get out. Then they wait right here to see if any sellers come in. They don't keep, buying to cover. They don't keep covering right here. They wait on this one, on this particular guy right here. They're waiting here, hoping that the market will sell this down so that they can cover at a better price. Market does not sell it down, so then they're forced to cover and move it higher. And that's what happened right here. And we didn't find that out until much later. By the way, Diamond Hands Derek on Twitter, I'm retweeting basically the best stuff in Bitcoin on here, the best stuff that I found. There's some really, really good stuff. We're going to look at this stuff here in just a second, but I want to go through what's going on right now with the price of Bitcoin and why I think, okay, we're probably making our favorite little move here. And again, look, here it is. So that's the reason we were looking at this in macro. And I remember I said we're going to go straight to 58,000. If we get above this, we're going to go straight to 58,000, maybe higher. And we went to 58.5 and now we're retracing. So we nailed that on Friday as far as what was going to happen in the coming days. I guess the coming 36 hours. Now let's look back here at that last move higher. What did we have? We also had, as a part of one of the macro head and shoulders, and this is why I was so bullish, we had a macro head and shoulders happening and a micro off of one of the shoulders from the macro, bro. I mean, come on. That was definitely, it made me feel good about the chances of this going higher. And obviously it did, catapulted higher from there. So we've got the same formation going on over here, especially, okay, and this is especially if this stays up here like I was predicting. So this was my worst case target for this. This might actually end up being right here. If it's higher than the previous shoulder, that is where Bitcoin has launched the hardest. So we might see some big buyers come in right here. And next stop for this guy, once we breach this level here, okay, we didn't hold this time. We needed to get up above 58 and then bounce off of 58. We need to clear up enough here so that this launching pad right here can be the new buy territory. So we need to get clear of that, come back down to that, and then launch off of that. That's what is going to be the best, most bullish move for Bitcoin. We're going to look at some of the Bitcoin news here in a second, but that is where I think we're headed to 60,000. We're going to see that this weekend, most likely. If not, we'll get really close. Maybe there'll be some sellers at 60. There is some definite resistance at 60. I remember how much the resistance there was to get to 60 initially. So we very well may see that again. Although I do believe that Wall Street, the Wall Street whale buyers are here, by the way, team. I've been saying for a long time, they're coming, they're coming, they're coming. That's why I got into this in the first place. I saw it happening. I know what happens next. Now they're actually here. But what are they doing? And that right there is probably the most important piece to understand here. So what are the whale buyers actually doing? We know that they knocked down Bitcoin, but why? Why would they do that? Why would they knock down Bitcoin? You saw Bitcoin get hit. Altcoins went crazy. How'd that happen? What was that a design? And it absolutely was. This is very, very typical Wall Street etiquette. Pick the stock, or in this case, the coin that moves the market, knock that one down, then go buy the other stocks you actually wanted to buy at a discount for no reason. And that's what happened. Bitcoin got knocked down, everything went down, and then altcoins went on fire. It was hot Wall Street money coming in, whale buyers coming in. Look at Ethereum. Ethereum, which I own, is, please, Ethereum, which I don't chart. I do not know Ethereum. I do not pretend to be an expert on Ethereum. You will never see me tweet about Ethereum. But I believe that Ethereum was the one that Wall Street wanted. Here's why. We're in a transition from the old way of thinking, which is you buy a stock in a company that has a CEO and a brand name and a color scheme and a motto and some sort of product or service, to you buy a technology that has scarcity, which is what Bitcoin is. problem with Ethereum ultimately is that it has that, but that's what the initial adopters are going to want. They're going to like the idea that there's a face to Ethereum. They're going to like the idea that it's a company that sort of has reportings of earnings, and that you can look and see how it's doing. And they want that old. They're not willing to let go of that old to jump into this new. They want it to still feel the same as before. And Wall Street is keen on that. They understand that. And more importantly, they know they can sell that to people. So the whole Bitcoin knockdown, altcoin run up was so that Wall Street could get into Ethereum. And that's what they're doing. And look at this trajectory. Just look at this. What is this, the last few days? This goes back to the 24th. Look at that. Big bottom was put in here too. So look at Ethereum. Go at Diamond Hands Derek. It's actually at Diamond Hands D on Twitter. You see some cool stuff here that I've been retweeting. This is all the stuff that I think you should look at. Looking at a lot of different people who are. William Clemente III, by the way, is amazing in his analysis. Check that out. I got to go because my baby's crying. Hopefully that helps. Bitcoin to the moon. It's coming. Talk to you guys soon.